Namaste, I'm Soumya and welcome to my channel. Today's video is a quick video especially for Sela Steel. This is about fibroids but the in-between stage. I don't know if I have discussed enough about it. So please know that this is my experience and this does not have to be your experience. Her question was what was my experience, the in-between stage, which is, so you diagnose you have fibroids and then you go find out what the medicines are, and once you start taking the medicines, you somewhere you know that okay, this is eventually gonna heal me, and you know it might be a 2 months process or a 6 months process based on how many fibroids you have, how big they are, and what are your symptoms. Okay, and some women actually have fibroids along with PCOS and their journey is very different, and it all depends on what your BMI is as well. Some people are actually very overweight, borderline obese, so in that case it takes them longer. It all depends, even your age. I am a mom, I have one son, so, and I'm in my 30s. I was diagnosed with fibroids in 2020, and the route I opted for was Ayurveda because I'm from Kerala and Ayurveda works for a lot of ailments, and I have seen it working for my mom. However, it took a really long for her. Now coming to my experience, please know this is purely my experience. It doesn't have to be yours. I've written things down. I had more cramps. So first 2 weeks I didn't feel like it was working. Okay, and my estrogen levels were very high, which means whenever your estrogen levels are very high, you're in a state of extreme mood swings and depression. Way later I came to know my vitamin D levels were also extremely low. I mean, it's below deficiency, it's out there in insufficiency category. So that would have also caused my high levels of depression. So I didn't have faith in the medicines. I felt like I was a victim and everyone else around me were just living a happy life, and here I am suffering physically, mentally, emotionally. So I was a mess. And so every time my cramps increased, I gave it the wrong meaning. The thing is, when the shrinking happens, your body goes through a lot. So first thing what the body does is, your body wants you to rest. And in Ayurveda, they talk about confinement, which is you stay at home, you isolate yourself a lot, you don't do many activities because your body is taking all the energy it possibly can from every inch of you to healing this fibroid. And fibroid is what? A benign tumor, right? So it needs to be shrunk. While the body is so busy doing that, the experiences I had was I was tired. I was extremely tired by the time I was diagnosed with fibroids. But then when I started having the medicines in 2 weeks time, I felt that I was even more tired. I just dragged myself out of the bed every single day, and if I didn't have mom duties, I am pretty sure I would have stayed on bed all day, all night. That was how bad it was. Then my cramps were very bad. Do you know Braxton Hicks? It's the false labor and the cramps that feels almost like Braxton Hicks, which is like the fake contractions you experience when you are pregnant. It happens after like 7 or 8 months of pregnancy. So it was that bad, and I was just in that fetal position most of the time on bed. So that is another way in which I experienced the shrinking. And because of all that deficiencies and emotional issues I was going through, I was giving everything the wrong meaning. For every cramp, I gave the meaning that, oh my god, maybe it's getting bigger. For every every moment where I felt absolutely tired, where I would just sleep off anywhere and everywhere, I was giving the meaning that my health is getting worse. So I went through a period of not working together. Body, mind, heart, soul, spirit, everything should work together. Now, there was a lot of disembodied energy that I was manifesting. So that was a very bad thing. So I would ask you to go get your vitamin D levels checked. Start having a multivitamin. If you are having vitamin D, always have it with vitamin K2, and obviously have a multivitamin. But when you're having a multivitamin, ensure it doesn't have any maca in it. You don't need to have that when you are going through a fibroid shrinking process, because it's counterintuitive. So those two things can really help you. Have your iron tablets always with vitamin C. Have freshly squeezed orange juice. I couldn't do it because I had no energy. So later on I started having effervescent vitamin C tablets with iron tablets. These things will help you on a physical level. On a mental level, go into a state of saying positive affirmations. Second thing is emotional freedom technique, EFT. I have discussed about that in a video of mine. I'll probably link it if I don't just remind me. I have made an affirmation video which is very Louis Hay based affirmations, and that has immensely helped me. So instead of saying negative things to yourself and giving everything the negative meaning, use the law of assumption to work for you. Use everything around you to give you confirmation that, oh wonderful, my god, my cramps, this shows that it's shrinking, the fibroids are finally shrinking. Give it a good meaning, give it a positive twist. Oh my god, my body is just so tired right now. I know this is because my body wants a lot of rest because it's very busy shrinking those fibroids. Just give it the positive meaning, because in reality that is actually what is happening. Your body wants you to go into a state of confinement and isolation and lots of rest and relaxation so that it can shrink these bad boys. What else have I written down? Okay, do not drink coffee during this time. How much of a tired you are. 1 or 2 cups of tea is okay, but coffee is a complete no-go because your body is filled already with stress hormones called cortisol, and coffee would just put even more cortisol in your system, which would prevent healing. Because if you're in a state of high cortisol, your body goes into fight or flight, and in fight or flight, the body stops all kinds of healing. To know more about this, it's very important to read the book of Dr. Joe Dispenza. You can even listen to his podcasts and interviews. It's fantastic. So that's one thing you can do. Another thing, I've mentioned vitamin D with K2, vitamin C with iron, and some kind of multivitamin for women without maca in it. Yeah, I've written that. For me, things got way worse before it started getting better. You know, the in-between stage is the bridge stage. The beginning of the bridge, you're on the other side, you just got diagnosed, and you know this is the route you're taking, which is Ayurveda. And then you know the end of the bridge, you will reach there. But the middle portion, where you go through the mood swings, you go through the cramps, you go through the heavy bleeding, you go through all the temper tantrums in the world, you go through your nausea. For me, there was a lot of urinary tract infection in between because my fibroids would go and press onto the urinary bladder, cause of which I couldn't empty my bladder, which caused urinary tract infection. For that I had to have, I think once I had antibiotics, and the second time I took the antibiotic route, the Ayurvedic route for that as well. And during all this, every now and then when I couldn't stand the pain, I was having Ponstan Fort. That was my painkiller. And that's it. So do not drink coffee. One, because of the because it has high caffeine and it produces cortisol. The second thing, you're not supposed to drink coffee anyways, is because when you have this bad case of fibroid, and if it's really bad, your liver goes into a state where it cannot metabolize caffeine. So that's another catch. I have made the mistake of having coffee because I was just really tired, and then I had real bad effects and jitters and arrhythmia, and it was bad. So this is what my in-between looked like. Honestly, the in-between was the worst. And things that could have made it better was EFT, which is emotional freedom technique. If you want me to do a separate EFT tapping video for the in-between phase, I'll be very happy to do it, but I don't know if anyone wants it. If you want it, let me know. And the in-between phase feels like forever. Trust me, it takes 3 months, sometimes 6 months, but in 3 months time you will see a huge difference. But it all depends on you. What meaning are you giving to the in-between phase? Second, how are you supporting yourself? Physically, mentally, emotionally, environment level, how are you supporting yourself? 3, can you go into a state of isolation and confinement and relaxation at least a few times a week so that your body can actually heal itself? So those things matter. I hope this helped. Thank you so much. Bye bye.